None of this should have come as a surprise to me, or to anyone else. There was all this hashing back and forth about the health care bill and such like that. Well, it's a done deal. But one of the warnings I've been giving on this issue and the bailout issue and a lot of other issues is, if you take the government's money, you have to play by their rules. And recently there's been some discussion about trying to make food healthier. The idea of cutting down on salt and sugar. You see, we were complacent in letting the government, take care of us in terms of health care. Picking up the tab for the poor at the expense of other people. But what they've overlooked is the fact that if the government's going to pick up the tab, they're going to set some rules. And very soon, they're going to try to make food healthier for us, for our own good. Because, the government is all-knowing and all-powerful and smarter than the average human. At least the way they would see it. How long is it going to be before they tell us what we can and cannot eat? How long will it be before they decide to exercise their power and say that if you decide to eat foods that we disapprove of, we're going to jack up your rates and everything like that? They're worried about the insurance companies overcharging us. They have basically legitimized that type of behavior on the part of insurance companies. What, you don't exercise enough? You eat fatty foods? You hit McDonald's 3 or 4 times a day? Well, we're not going to be able to insure you at the rates you've been. And the government's going to let us rip you off. So much for health care reform. And also consider this. By picking and choosing kind of foods that, would be good for us, how many people is the government going to put out of business? Your McDonald's, your Burger King. How many restaurants? See, some of this has already been occurring, like in places like New York and Chicago, with the trans fats and such like that. The restaurants had to change their recipes in order to stay in business in those areas. I'd like to know, how are the restaurants doing now? Or have they found a way around it? If you take the government's money, you have to play by their rules. But what if their rules are intruding upon your freedom of choice? Think long and hard about how we get ourselves into this predicament.